lawmakers chanting death to America. That is clearly how they feel, or certainly the way that they are expressing themselves.
You will be the soldiers of World War III.
No, the hell we ain't. I promise you, you will see in record numbers the amount of people getting quote-unquote drafted, if it were a thing. Say no. You're going to have to build more prisons. You're going to have to build a lot more prisons. And I mean a lot more prisons. Ain't nobody going to be going nowhere fighting no pointless war. Send me to jail.
Are you ready to be drafted into the U.S. Selective Service? Well, guess what? Whether you are a man or a woman, they are now setting us up to be drafted and be part of the U.S. military. I want to break down what's going on, but what bill just passed in the House of Representatives and why this bill, for some, is somewhat concerning. Because this means now that every 18 to 24-year-old male will automatically be registered for selected service, but women could be next.
Wait, I have a serious question. If the United States drafts Americans, typically they would be drafting Gen Z, right? So who do they expect is going to fight this war for them? Because the majority of Gen Z doesn't support Israel. Like, that's kind of when you know you've reached the end of an empire, I guess you could say. I could almost guarantee that Gen Z would be fighting against Israel and the United States and helping out Palestine and Iran if they were drafted.
Who getting drafted? Who? Me? Hell no. I'm not doing that shit. Is you fucking crazy? I don't give a rat's ass if I'm gonna be considered guilty of treason or if I'm thrown in jail. I'm not fighting no fucking war for the United States. I'm not fucking doing it. Not in this lifetime. Hell no. You'd have to drag me out of this bitch with me screaming, hollering, crying, throwing up, and I'm still not going. I would kill myself before I ever hop on a motherfucking military base for the United States, or just period in general. No disrespect to anybody who is in the military. I just know I'm not built for that shit.
This is Revelation 11 and 14. It says, the second woe is past, the second world war, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. The third world war is coming quickly. All right? First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Ruel. Peace and salutations to the elect, and much respect to the brothers pushing his word in the four corners of the earth. And I'm going to say shalom to you few sincere sisters out there as well. It's Brother Ahrayah coming at you with another lesson. Okay, and this is Joel 3 and 2. And it says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is Yahweh Shaphat, which is Yahweh's judgment, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. All right, and these days are coming swiftly, man. You know, a lot is happening right now. It's an exciting time to be able to, see what's going on out here, man. Now, what we've been talking about for the longest, I ain't gonna say like it's just been me. Well, I said we, but I've only been doing lessons for 5 years. But brothers before me, the apostles and the elders before me, and me included, have been warning of a coming draft. Okay, where they're gonna not just draft men, but they're gonna be drafting women too, man. Okay, because they don't have sufficient numbers of soldiers to send out to war. And once America gets into this war 100%, then you're gonna have Russia getting in the war, and China getting in the war, and North Korea getting in the war. Then you're gonna have the EU getting in the war, and the NATO is gonna get in the war. And eventually EU and NATO is going to turn against America, man. It's going to be a lot happening, okay? And it says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, and wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat your plowshares into swords, and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong, okay? And one of those examples of the weak saying they're strong would be, North Korea, okay? They're not the strong powerhouse that Russia is or China is, okay? But the weaker are or the weak, you could say is North Korea, for example, okay? Not as strong as them, but, they have weapons of mass destruction as well, And it says, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about thither, cause thy mighty ones, or cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. And it says, let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Things about to get real serious out here, man. While there's a war going on overseas, there's also going to be a war going on here in Babylon the Great, man. All right? It's going to be a real active time of war, man. The spirit of war is in the air, man. You can taste it, man. Okay? The spirit of war is definitely in the air. Let's get Jeremiah 50. Could have went to 49 too. We're gonna do a 22nd verse. Okay, I read 22 through 25 real fast, right? Because the sound of battle is in the land and of great destruction. Okay, how is the hammer of the whole earth, right? Which is talking about America, which is the hammer of the whole earth, man. Considered once. I wouldn't say anymore, but considered once the powerhouse of the earth. Okay, everyone was scared to death of America. Okay, and America has robbed and pillaged many lands here on the earth, man. Okay, so the hammer of the whole earth is talking about America. And how is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder? Okay, because soon this place will be destroyed, as we continue to keep telling you. And broken. How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Okay, because this place is going to be destroyed with thermonuclear fire. That's going to be the end of this war. That's what's going to happen at the end of this war. This place is going to be destroyed, man. I have laid a snare for thee, a trap, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord Yahweh. The Lord hath opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. Okay, talking about those missiles, man, because the spirit of the Lord is going to be in the missiles. This is why the impact of those missiles touching down here in Babylon the Great is going to be so severe, because the spirit of the Lord is going to be in the missiles, man. For this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans, man. All right, so we're getting near that. Okay, and now they're talking about a draft. Okay, so of course we want to go to Isaiah 19 and 16, because it's prophecy. Isaiah 19 and 16, in that day shall Egypt, okay, which is synonymous with bondage, okay, and we are still in our captivity to this day here in Babylon the Great. Don't think for 1 second that you're not in captivity, even though, you get to walk around what you think is freely and do as you please. Okay, you are still a servant and a slave here in Babylon the Great, man. And that day shall Egypt be like unto women. Why will they be like unto women? Men will be like unto women. Why? Because they're going to be afraid. Okay, as you've seen in the videos, a couple of men told me, hell no, I'm not going. I'm not going to war. Okay, and that's the whole vibe of everyone here in Babylon the Great. That's 18 to 24. They don't want to go to war. They're not ready to put their life on the line for America. Okay, so once people start getting them letters and people start seeing that it's real, that they're going to have to go overseas and definitely die for this place. Okay, they're going to be scared to death. And it shall be afraid, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of the Lord of hosts, which he shaketh over it. Okay, and these people are going to be scared to death. Quick testimony: my daughter talking about she want to go into the Navy. Okay, and I told her, I said, look, if you go over there if you go to the Navy, they're going to send you to war eventually. She talking about the recruiter told her that she wouldn't have to go to war because she's going there to, for medical, to be a ultrasound technician. Okay. But I'm like, yo, there's going to be a point where they're going to definitely throw you up in there because they're not going to have enough bodies. And I told her, if you go in the Navy, you most definitely going to die. You're not going to come back home. And Lord willing, the Heavenly Father had those words stick in her head. If not, then it's all the Lord's doing. The Lord wanted her to go over there. There's nothing I can really do about it. But when people start to really realize that this thing is real and it's a life or death matter, okay, a lot of people are going to be fleeing. You hear people saying they'd rather go to jail. They'd rather kill themselves than go over there and fight, for Israel or whatever. All right. So yeah, people are going to be definitely afraid, man. All right. It's going to be a lot of fear here in Babylon the Great once that gets rolling. Okay. And I'm kind of excited to see how that's going to go. Okay. Because with all these men leaving, that reminds me of Isaiah 4:1. Okay. With all these men being either locked up or having to go over there in war and fight, and plus the war that's going to be happening here in America, okay, internally, if you will. All right, it's going to be a lot of death, man. It's going to be a lot of death. It reminds me of 2nd Esdras, the 16th chapter. Let's get that real quick. 2nd Esdras 16, and 33 and 34. And the bridegrooms. Yeah. It says the virgin shall mourn having no bridegrooms, right? Having no husbands. The woman shall mourn having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn having no helpers. In the wars, right? That's plural. In the wars. Like I just said, the war overseas and the war here. Okay? In the wars shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. All right, so there's going to be a whole lot of things happening at one time. We're going to have war going on. Maybe all the lights is off. Maybe the water systems is not working. The famine going on. Hardly any food. Okay, because verse 37 says, behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack. Okay, so they're going to be coming from every side. People are going to feel, boxed in by the plagues from the Lord, man. All right. It's not just going to be a plague of sickness, but it's going to be a plague of death, a plague of war, and, plagues of famine. Okay. And that also reminds me of this here in Isaiah the 3rd chapter. Okay. And I pray I'm not going off, but I believe this is a future prophecy here. Okay. I could be wrong. So if I am wrong, correct me, please. Okay, because I don't want to be going off. All right, but it says in 25, thy men shall fall by the sword, and thy mighty in war. Okay, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground. Okay, why? Because all the men are going to be sent over there to war. Okay, and the women left behind, having no one to protect them or to take care of them in the chaos that's here in Babylon the Great. This is why I believe this is a future prophecy, because Isaiah 4:1 starts with and, okay? And is a word of continuation. So it's continuing from the previous chapter. And in that day, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. All right, so we coming into them times where Isaiah 4:1 is right around the corner as well, man. All right, a lot of things are happening right now, man. And like I always love to say, it's a beautiful time to be alive, man, because we seeing all these prophecies popping off of the page, man. All right, now that draft is real. Now it's about to happen. Trump signed the bill. Okay, so it's about to happen, man. Okay, and of course we're awaiting that MOTB, man. Without the MOTB, there's nothing. Okay, World War III is the end game. We know this already, but without that microchip being, tossed out there, okay, nothing's going to happen. So we just really patiently waiting on that MOTB to come. But it's a beautiful thing to see this draft come in and, World War III being in the makes. It's about to pop off, man. So, I just wanted to do this quick little lesson before I go to the plantation. And Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to say shalom to the next one.
Okay. I had one biblical scripture to put in, right? Let's see. It was Jeremiah. As a matter of fact, yeah. Jeremiah 50. Slakia. There it is. Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They have remained in their holes. And you saw the video, what they were saying, like the brother was saying, our brother Ahrayah, what he was saying, concerning the men of Babylon, Gen Z. They said, you heard the little chick with the 4 eyes. She was talking about what was going to happen there. That Gen Z, if they're drafted into the military, they're going to turn against the military. I mean, damn, they are serious about this fuck Israel bullshit. You call Gen Z is anti-Semitic, right? So is the rest of the fucking world. So everybody's got to be destroyed then? See, following in behind nothing not a Jew, what is the name? B.B. Malakowski, or whatever his goddamn last name is. You know what I'm saying? Fuck this asshole. He came from squalor. Okay, and as far as the so-called Middle Eastern war, okay, there used to be peace over there before those Amalekite Khazar converts, calling themselves Jews and are not. Before they went over there was peace there. Wasn't nobody fighting. What the fuck? For shit. They wasn't fighting, man. Everybody was getting along. I don't get it. Okay? You invite these goddamn Amalekite Khazars over there, okay, and hell's been broken loose ever since 1948. 80 fucking years. Okay? Come on, man. Something's wrong with this mathematical equation. Okay? Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 30. The mighty men of Babylon have forborne to fight. They remained in their holds. Their might hath failed. They became as women. They have burned their dwelling places. Her bars are broken. Right? One post shall run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that his city is taken at one end. So that's a biblical future prophecy that's going to happen. Either New York City, Texas, or LA is going to get hit by a thermonuclear weapon. Boom! Goddamn electromagnetic pulse is going to wipe out electricity forever in any goddamn direction for anywhere between 500 to 1,000 miles, depending on how many nuclear weapons hit. Okay? Now, if it's going to be taken at one end, yeah, America's done. Okay? And that the passages are stopped. Okay? So, under martial law, the passages to get the fuck out, to get the fuck in, okay, going to be shut off. All the airports are going to be shut off. The trains are going to be shut off. No shipping in and out, right? And the reeds, they have burned with fire, and the men of war are affrighted. Okay? So all of this is going to be happening here in the next few weeks. Praise the Lord. Call halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rahawah Kakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom.